Okay, good morning. I'm Christy Esterly. I'm a travel advisor with Cruise Planners, and I want to thank Samantha for helping me host this event today. Hi to everybody who's watching this online. So we're just going to take a couple minutes and talk about some basic travel do's and don'ts for your health. Okay, and one of the things I think a lot of people don't realize is that just the act of traveling is beneficial to you. One of the things it does is it strengthens your immune system. Now I know if you've been home after a trip and you caught the plane crud and you're laid out for a little while, that seems a little counterintuitive, but it's actually true. You go to different places, you get used to different environments, your body incorporates that, and it helps your immune system become stronger. Obviously it lowers stress and depression because, let's face it, when's the last time you saw an unhappy person on a beach? Right? Exactly. It enhances our creativity, and of course it increases our happiness. So, but like everything, there are ways that you can maximize these benefits and make them work for you. So we're just going to go over some best practices, and a lot of them are probably going to sound a lot like some basic common sense stuff. But you would be surprised, how many people, don't take common sense into consideration when the minute they step on a plane and go somewhere else. So we're going to start off with enjoying our destination. What you do want to do is pace yourself. I've made this mistake. Last time I went to New York, I tried to do too much, walked everywhere. Next day I was completely wiped out and I lost half a day because I was in the whole hotel room, trying to get my energy back. So yeah, do remember, to pace yourself, especially if you're going to be walking a lot more than you're used to, climbing more than you're used to. Take a little time to kind of get yourself body used to that, and don't do too much all at once. Don't overindulge. I know this is difficult, especially, you're on the cruise ship, you're feeling good, or you're at the all-inclusive resort where it's free drinks all the time. But, seriously, just, know your limits, especially around alcohol, especially if you're by yourself. A lot of people, they drink too much and then they get into trouble in a place they don't know, and that's kind of a problem. Okay, jet lag. Jet lag is a huge thing, and it's especially difficult because it's something that's, built into our body. It's essentially part of our circadian rhythm. And unfortunately, really, the only way to get around it for the most part is to give yourself time. Most scientists estimate you need about 1 to 2 days per time zone in order for your body to fully adjust to the new time schedule. Which, you're probably thinking, oh, well, that kind of sucks. If I'm flying overseas for a week, it's going to take me the whole time just to get used to where I'm at, and then I have to fly back. But you can, kind of start before you go on your trip. Try to start getting on that new schedule if you can. I know you have work and such, but, if you're on the plane, sleep when it's nighttime. If it's going to be day at your destination, having some kind of light helps. And, just kind of do those ways to kind of ease your body into getting into that new rhythm. But the one thing you don't want to do is crash midday. And, it's pretty easy to think, I am so tired, I'm just going to power nap for a half hour. But, the next thing you know, you've slept for 4 hours, and that's just going to, make that adjustment even harder. Okay, dietary restrictions. A lot more people are dealing with this these days. I think most of us know somebody who has some kind of food allergy, or is diabetic, gluten-free, just vegetarian, just any type of, hard dietary restriction that they have. But the good news is that most travel suppliers are becoming aware of that, and they're doing things to help you out. So, best thing to do is help others understand, especially that starts with your travel advisor. When you're planning your trip, let us know, I'm a vegetarian, I can't have dairy. What can you do to help me out there? And, we can get you in touch with people at your destination who can help you out with that. Cruise ships are particularly good at this. It was a little easier back when everybody was on set dining times and you had the same wait staff all the time, so they could, know what your particular diet was. But even so, you go on a ship, one of the first things you want to do is check with the maitre d', talk with them about your dietary restrictions, and see what they can do to help you. But, don't be afraid to try new things. I know it can be intimidating when you're at a new destination and you see something that looks like this and you're like, what is that, an insect or snake, or what am I looking at? But the thing you have to do is not ask yourself if you can make this work, but ask, how do you make this work? And that's going to look different for everybody. Maybe that means, having a little emergency stash on hand just in case. Maybe that means, kind of, limiting yourself to some select foods at certain places. But you can make it work. And I found a really great tool that helps you make it work. This is from a website called Select Wisely. Write that down here in a little bit here. We got pins?
Yes. Well, this little thing here, I can write it for you.
All right. The website is called Select Wisely. And what it is they sell these little cards, about credit card size, in a whole bunch of different languages, and they do them for all different allergies, dietary restrictions, and other emergency needs. This one, obviously, you've got a nut allergy here. It's got a front in English and the back in Korean, and it gives you some basic phrases that you can use with locals to help you navigate the food in that area. I would check it out. They literally have everything. There's diabetes and milk allergy, vegetarian, any type of dietary restriction that you have. They have a card for it in any major language, and you can pick one of those up and be prepared when you're at your destination. Beating the heat. These are the ones that I think are kind of obvious, but still we kind of forget them. Stay hydrated. I have this problem when I'm at home, let alone when I'm at a destination. And I know it's tricky. You're in a new place, you're not sure if the water is safe, and there's some local over there selling water, but it's like $4 for a little Dasani bottle, and you're like, do I really need this? But yeah, you really do. A good thing to do is pick up a collapsible water bottle, just kind of roll it up, stick it in your bag, fill it up at your resort or your cruise ship before you head on out, and have that with you while you're at your destination. And of course, do not forget sun protection. Whoops! I apologize.
Okay. Keep with that really close.
Yeah. But yeah, don't go out without sunscreen. And what I found out actually is one of the biggest places for sun damage is actually on the airplane. You got all that sunlight streaming in through the windows, no clouds, or your eye put in the atmosphere. That does get into your skin a lot. So take a little 3-ounce bottle, fill it up with sunscreen, and rub some on your arms before you head onto the plane. And got a little hat here. They do of course have collapsible sun hats that you can roll up, stick in your carry-on, and keep the sun off of your head. Protecting your vacation. This is a big thing for me as a travel advisor. It's one of the things I do as due diligence for my clients. Use travel insurance. I know how it feels. I mean, when I first saw travel insurance, I kind of had that thing like you do when they offer you the extended service plan on your new dishwasher or whatever. It's like, I don't really want to do that. They're just looking for more money. But no, you really do need it. Just as an example, a few years ago, we were going out to Hawaii. We had a cruise, and we were flying out the day of our cruise, thinking, we should get there in early afternoon. We'll have plenty of time to get to our ship. We had 2 planes grounded on us due to mechanical errors. One of them was actually in the air for a couple of hours before they turned around and sent us back to Denver. So yeah, it was very stressful. Long story short, we didn't get to Hawaii the next day, and we had to take the puddle jumper to Maui just to get to our ship. And the airline and the cruise line were very good about it, especially since the cruise line booked the flights for us and helped us get that flight and everything. But if they hadn't, we would have been out for that puddle jumper and lost out on a day of our cruise on top of that. So don't get stuck, you know, emergency services, you know, a lot of our insurances will not cover you overseas. You have to get an airlift to a hospital. That is a huge chunk of change you do not want to pay. So yeah, long story short, do not leave this to chance. Do not be this guy. You know, get yourself travel insurance. It's about the cost of what sales tax would be on your cruise, and it is a really good investment. And dealing with work. I found out that a lot of people who, you know, aren't going on vacation, one of the reasons that they don't is they're thinking, well, if I leave, you know, I'm going to come back to this huge pile of work and it's just going to be so stressful and I don't want to deal with it. But the thing is as we've said, you know, travel is not only good for your health, it is good for your professional life as well. You're going to come back recharged, energized, you know, more creative, more motivated, and you're going to be a much better employee than if you had sat with your nose to the grindstone the entire 52 weeks of the year. So the best way to do that, you know, just don't leave your PTO on the table.
Yeah.
Talk with your boss or your supervisor. You know, say, I'm going on this trip. You know, what can I do to, you know, help you while I'm gone? How can we delegate these responsibilities? And how can we, you know, make this work? Because you can make it work. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not making it work. 768 million vacation hours went unused, or vacation days, even worse, went unused last year. And that is a lot of money left on the table. That is a lot of free time that you are donating to your employers. Don't do that. We have National Plan for Vacation Day. It's, I think, the last Thursday of the month of January every year, so it's coming up January 28th. And you know, that's a good time to start your conversation with your employer and plan out when you're going to use those vacation times and use that out of office email. And that about covers my end of it.
Yeah, but and Christy, tell us more about why people would want to use your services, because what you do is, you know, there are other travel agents. You can just walk into their brick and mortar or find your own online. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I can get a better deal, and sometimes they do, but why would they want to call you?
That's a very good question. First reason is I am, you know, some people call me a home-based agent, but I prefer the term I'm a mobile agency, which basically means that I can work anywhere that I have a Wi-Fi connection. So, you know, I can meet you at your house, we can get together at Starbucks, anywhere you want to be to discuss your vacation plan, I can work with your schedule. And the second is that, you know, in the end you do get what you pay for. I mean, you can go on, you know, Travelocity or Cheap Vacations, and you're going to can possibly get a trip that saves you a little bit of money, but in the end, you know, are they going to help you find the resort or the experience that is right for you? Are they going to be there when something goes wrong? I mean, I just had a client come back. Her hotel, we found out, was undergoing renovations. And it looked horrible, and we had to kind of scramble. Fortunately, the hotel was very nice and upgraded them to a much better room, but, you know, she didn't want to be calling some 1-800 number and talking to somebody in Bangladesh or wherever the call center is. She got my cell phone number, and we talked it over, and we got that sorted out for her. And in the end, you know, whether you like to, you know, like to plan your vacation and want a little inside help, or you're just like, I don't have time for this, I just want somebody else to handle it, I can be there and I can help you out. I'll work with your vacation style, I'll work with your planning style, and I'll make it a much better trip for you.
So you get to know people and you find them what they want.
Absolutely. It's all about the relationship, and it's not just about budget, it's finding out, you know, what kind of experience do you want? Because that's going to look different for everybody. You know, whether you're going to Europe or Mexico or whatever.
That's a family trip, even.
Yeah, families. I do. Yeah, families. I do weddings and honeymoons. Group travel is really big. If you've got a church or even, you know, your book club wants to go somewhere and have somewhere fun, come talk to me.
That's cool. Let's do something again on the International Plan Your Vacation Day. Is that what it is?
Yes, it's National Plan Your Vacation Day, January 28th.
Okay, let's do something then too. So, Bobby, can you read that on the video there?
Oh,
go ahead and
right here.
Read it out, Christy, for anybody.
Okay. Yeah, these are my contact information. If you cannot read it, it's 719-344-2823 for the phone number. The email is my name, Christy, CHRISTI, Esterly, ESTERLE, at cruiseplanners.com. And my website is allwhowandertravel.com. It's based on the J.R.R. Tolkien line, not all those who wander are lost.
So, did you have one more slide there?
I don't think so. That should be it.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are here. We're here.